3, 2, 1.
Yo, we got your back when you driving to work or driving home. If you on a plane or you at the gym or you home alone, all you gotta do to listen to the shows, turn on your phone. Two Ugly Nerds podcast, tell you what's going on. This is the podcast.
Eric is ugly and would not judge anybody else.
There's no other insult.
When did you learn that you were ugly?
Two Ugly Nerds podcast.
Welcome to the
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Two Ugly Nerds podcast. Some niggas from the Black nerd community. I am your host, Derek the Podcast Guy. Here again on this lovely Sunday, or short episode today, I think. I'm always joined. We are constantly in this new order now, and it is throwing me off, and I keep forgetting to change it. It's like I can easily change it before I do this intro and do all of this, and I just refuse. Whatever. Always joined by Ian Berserk Music, audio engineer / super producer. The father dad himself gave us a wink. That's gonna have to be use that as something to paste over his face in the video or something when he do. Anytime he say something smart, show him winking.
Yep. Have to make it like a I don't know, like a GIF, like an animated GIF or something.
Like an animated GIF. See if I can wash out your background and just having him winking. I'll figure that out. I know how to. I'll learn how to do a new trick. Why not? Also, always joined by Geronimo, Mr. Nintendo. Even got a Smash hoodie on for you guys today, so you know.
So you know what time it is. You know,
already understand.
You know what
Smash
fade
University
has to be run.
Hey, look.
He went through.
Man,
a lot of classes.
I need to pop that game back in. I haven't played in months, so
Still
good
beat
to-
me, so.
of course. Don't make no mistake. 20-some years of muscle memory.
Hey, bro.
Just don't disappear.
Hey, but
like
don't
that.
say it with so much confidence in your voice, though.
I mean, I have confidence.
Yeah, but you know.
I meant to ask you.
Okay.
I meant to ask you about
I probably
Smash.
should, I guess, maybe.
Is Hiachi in Smash?
So on the Tekken stage, it's in the Mishima dojo, whatever they call it. He's in the background. That's what they do for a lot of these DLC characters. They'll have like characters from that game or maybe that series just chilling in the background. It's kind of like its own little fan servicey type thing.
There was like that was just for the cinematic trailer. Because there was a clip where he's punching Hiachi. I'm like,
oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, they're doing like the whole like overhead punch like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's homage to like every time they show like a trailer or the game starts, it's just like
the Tekken animation.
Yeah, the Tekken intro. Yeah, so that's just Sakura. He just has all the special touches, man. But yeah, I guess Heihachi's not playable, but I don't mind because Heihachi's been playable in a lot of stuff. So Kazuya is a good second pick, and he's kind of like a villain. So.
Yeah,
more or less anti-hero villain. He's basically on that fuck my dad type stuff.
Yeah.
So
just like Jin.
It's like, hey, it runs in the family. The Mishima family.
It runs in the family.
It does. It really does.
I mean,
Tekken,
I just never heard anybody say it. That's why I'm just like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Damn. Like I said, man, we ain't got that much to get to today. Loki, obviously, we had to come in here on this Sunday and talk about Loki.
Yeah, man. It was a big episode.
Yeah,
I think it's big for MCU overall. Like, it's a lot.
Yes.
The ramifications
are
immense.
I was so close to being like, hey, man, I don't even know if we got shit to talk about because all the news is still E3 news. And I was gonna.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And then last night it clicked to me. But we gotta talk about Loki. Oh no, sir, we gotta get to talk about Loki. But before we get to Loki, folks, we do got to talk about something else. A show that we've all championed on here. We enjoy the show, even though we may not have liked all the decisions. We're looking at you, Donna. But I'm in my Dove blue hat today. You know, we repping for it today, man. I'm gonna
same energy.
Maybe next season we can be a little more nicer about her character.
He's slandering her.
He's slandering her all season.
I don't want it.
Every season.
If I can get a whole season without her, we cool.
Perfect. No, man. Yeah. So, Titan season 3, we got a new trailer for it, and we don't have to break the whole thing down. We can just talk about like some of the main points. Mm-hmm. We got to see Jason Todd. He's kind of walking around one of those like Joker amusement parks. There's actually a name to it, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head, and I don't have the trailer pulled up, so sue me. But he's walking around what's clearly a Joker infested park. He sees like it must be a dead cop or something like that who's been Jokerfied in some way. Or
you got the creepy smile from like the laughing gas.
I gotta be honest,
or whatever.
When I saw that, I was like, "Yo, this is that shit." Yo,
yeah, that was actually pretty unsettling.
That was cool, man.
That was unsettling for real.
It was unsettling.
That was like oh god. What am I thinking of? That that was like some Loki, some Heath Ledger stuff. For like that one time he was like impersonating the cop and he didn't have the makeup on. He had the fucked up smile still.
That was perfectly wild. Shout out to the makeup artist for that one. That was nice.
No,
that was really
one.
dope.
It's a really good one, man. They did a great job with that little scene. That enough was to capture me, and it made me say immediately, they better not fucking kill Jason.
This will be our first.
They better not.
This will be our. This will be our first time seeing Joker in
Titans. Yes, we haven't seen him in Titans.
Okay.
They held him off.
If he does actually show up, because it could be, I take everything with a grain of salt. Is all I ever say. Just take everything with a grain of salt, because there's always people that could be influenced by the Joker. The Joker may not actually be around, and maybe people doing things on behalf of the Joker, but we don't actually see him. There's a lot of different ways how we may end up not seeing Joker specifically, right? Especially considering we're in a future Batman state, right? Batman is older, and he's British, and we also have
he's British.
Nightwing is now his full-fledged Nightwing dude.
Here now.
He ain't in Bloodhaven yet, but he is. Well, whatever. He's still doing his new thing. And then you got, so you got these Titans that are all kind of coming together. There's still no like Wally West yet. There's still a lot of stuff going on, and this is clearly a mix between not just Teen Titans, because obviously there's Superboy here. So there's a mix of like the Young Justice plus Teen Titans collab that's going on. So there's just so much for them to get to that I don't know for a fact that you're gonna see Joker. I don't think it doesn't necessarily have to happen yet. That's the only reason I say I hope they don't kill Jason, because I just don't feel like we've gotten enough of him as Jason to reach this point. But I don't know what their pacing is. I don't know how many seasons they're expecting to get or anything like that. And they may feel like this is a narrative we have to push if we ever want a chance to bring Red Hood to the screen. And I'm also thinking, knowing how WB works, this probably aligns a little bit with Gotham Knights. You got Gotham Knights coming out. We know that Barbara Gordon is coming.
They showed her.
So pretty much everybody is there. And we'll possibly see Tim Drake at some point in this season as well, especially assuming that Jason gets mollywopped in this season. So if it plays out that way, that Jason actually does die, which we know he won't stay dead, so it's nothing to be like, emotional about. But I just don't think it's the time yet. But if they're pushing the narrative, then cool. Jason dies, and potentially Tim Drake comes in, which is really cool. And then you get Red Hood, and then we have all the characters from that game, because it's Batgirl, it's Tim Drake, it's Red Hood, and it's Nightwing, right? So you get all four of them in this show now, and it's basically an advertisement for that game, and even though like clearly Barbara isn't going to be Batgirl, she's going to be more Oracle in this case, right? Because she's already been shot and paralyzed. Well, paralyzed. I don't know if she's been shot in this version, but she's already been paralyzed, so she's in the wheelchair. And obviously Jason is clearly going to make a transition soon. That scene alone was enough for me to get me hyped to want to see how this plays out, even though I don't want Jason to die yet. That was enough. Everything else was all extra, and it wasn't the longest trailer either. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
it was pretty cool.
It was just under a minute. Yeah.
That scene we're talking about there at the beginning was kind of the main part mostly. Everything else was kind of mostly flashes from random scene to random scene, little moments. You get to see Nightwing in certain places, and just saw all the different characters. You guys see Blackfire pop back up.
I really like Starfire's like full suit in this so far.
Yes.
I'm just skimmed through the trailer just because the refresher. But yeah. I mean, honestly, I've been seeing some set photos here and there too. I mean, the costume design has always been really good, but I think it's just like really, really good so far.
Yeah.
This season, because they shown some stuff for like Raven and that actress.
Yeah,
actually,
her new suit looks great. Yeah, she looks a little better in that. Hopefully her acting has gotten a little better as well too.
Yeah, I will hope so.
I don't think she was bad.
She was all right to me.
I don't think she was bad.
Or maybe she was.
She's gotten better in season 2.
Maybe Dove was so bad that everybody else just.
Yes, I think that's what's happening to you. Because Raven wasn't great. Raven wasn't.
She was passable,
but she was exactly.
That's what I would say.
I give her a pass because she was.
And I think she's
right.
That's what I'm saying.
She's growing up in the show too.
They're all older. You got to remember that that was
2019, I think.
Well, that's the year it came out, but she was shooting that at least a year before that. So, it's been now 3-4 years or so. So she's older. I'm sure she's learned more. She's been in more classes. She's got more experience. So I'm assuming that she will be able to deliver. I think she looks the part. I think sometimes in those first 2 seasons, she didn't always fully act out some of the parts, or it just seemed a little corny the way she pulled off some stuff. But I think that will improve. But I think it was passable. That's why I didn't mean to make it sound like I was knocking her as if I think she's a bad actress or something like that. Not the way Dove shows emotion in every scene that she's supposed to try to show emotion. That's a different level. Like that's an adult. Like she's just bad at acting.
Not good at acting.
I
just realized she's in the trailer too. Damn it.
Dove she is. Of course she is. Yeah.
Hopefully, even in this scene that she's barely in, I feel like she didn't really she didn't really work on it.
She ain't showing up emotion in this 2-second clip.
Come on, man.
This 2.5 clip, she could have done more. She didn't really sell me in it.
I'm still pretty disappointed.
No, man, she was a letdown throughout the whole show for me.
I
got
a
couple moments, but any moment where she was required to show any emotion directly, or the camera's directly on her, it just was rough. And
when she fell off of that building, that was the emotion that I was like, okay, she's dead. I'm emotional about it, but I'm glad she's gone. And then the next scene, she
survived that
live and well,
easy,
having visions of Raven. All right, man.
What a mess.
And some people feel like that too. Some people feel like the plot of Titans isn't that great, so they get on it pretty tough for that as well. So I mean,
I don't think the plot is terrible. It's just both seasons haven't really nailed the landing, in my opinion, for those villains and stuff that they've used. That's kind of been my thing. So I enjoy the show, but it's definitely got some flaws. But hopefully this season will be the one that they kind of improve it and fix most of them, so where it's enjoyable for more people to kind of have its just be overall like that show would be like, yo, yeah, definitely watch Titans now. So
yeah, I'm thinking it will, man, with the HBO backing on it now and it going HBO Max and all this stuff. I just feel like maybe they'll be able to get some more influence and do some stuff with it. You know what I mean? And as much as WB may not want to ever publicly say it or whatever, a show like this could use your Zack Snyder, man. He's the guy who gets these tones where things are darker and it's gritty and it's not always going the hero's way. And the heroes may have been wrong when they made some decisions, you know what I mean? Like this is kind of his bag. Maybe ask for a little, hey bro, what you think about this? You know what I'm saying? Just what you, they could do something like that. I don't know. They won't do that, but it's no, what are you saying?
I was gonna say I'm on a freeze frame of somebody whacking somebody with a crowbar, and I'm pretty sure that's Jason Todd on the ground there. Or that's Jason Todd on the pillar that he's hooked up. Somebody's hooked up to something on a pillar.
Hey, bro, he's dying. He is dying. I know that. Okay, I know that. I've look.
I mean, he kind of has to.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die here. I just felt like we could get more of Jason on his own arc without having to kill him yet. I feel like he was on a good arc. He was on a decent arc already. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of already going off the rails a little bit, but he wants to still do the right thing. And he does still want to kind of listen. He knows, that Nightwing has more experience than him and, is kind of his superior in a way, but he doesn't really just want to do things the way he wants to do them. And he kind of thinks Nightwing's a little like Bruce and he kind of annoyed with Bruce too. And you know what I mean? It's a lot of different emotions and stuff. And I just feel like you have another season. And I just feel like with the HBO Max backing and everything, Titans, I feel like if they come up with a good enough script, I just feel like you could get through. I think you could give them another 2-3 seasons off of a solid script with a direction. and they could give Jason a little more time to develop as a character on his own, so that when he dies, it's more of an impact. And because to me, I mean, look at us now. We're all sitting here. We've seen the trailer. The second you see the Joker and Jason walking into an amusement park or anything like that, Jason dies. There's no, it just normally don't go no other way. So he's going to die. And
immediately following that scene, you got a guy in a red helmet situation.
Yeah, and look, see, my thing was that isn't the same as the Deathstroke suit, so I didn't know if they tried to change that, but it also kind of looks like Red Hood.
Red Hood, yeah.
So I'm gonna take it as Red Hood and just assume they're gonna do the whole flip in this season. I just think it's a disservice to Jason. I think
it does seem rushed a little bit. I will say that.
I think you could build up his.
Yeah, they're kind of running into Red Hood
in more ways. Right now, it feels like it's happening because it's supposed to happen. Yeah. And I feel like you have time. You could have time. Maybe they don't have time. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
I just feel like you could make this in a way where you feel like when he dies, it's just gonna hit you emotionally, like, oh man, they're really taking him away. Versus now, it's just like, oh well, he's supposed to die, but we know he's gonna come back as Red Hood, so it's all good. There's, you know what I mean? There's not much to that, I think, and I get it. It's not always for the people who know this stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of people out here who might enjoy this show and have no idea Jason becomes Red Hood and have no clue that when he dies, he'd come back. He's definitely coming back quickly. One of the things, actually, funny enough, I was watching the trailer and just looking up old stuff. I didn't realize there's kind of a trend of Donna Troy coming back from the dead, like dying and coming back, resurrecting in some way. And I know they kind of hinted at that in the show anyways, but I'm banking on her showing back up. She's going to come back at some point. And I did see I saw a set photo where she was on the set, like in costume behind some people. Now that could be a flashback. It doesn't have to be present day or anything. So we have no idea, but it lets us know she's still involved in some way. So her character isn't just killed off and we're moving on. You know what I mean? Like she's not even on set. She's still showing up for shoots and everything like that. So we know her character's still involved, and obviously we all like Donna way more than Dove. So hopefully we get to see Donna come back this season and make that trade-off. If you're gonna kill Jason this quickly, bring Donna back a little quicker.
Man, knowing WB, man, they're gonna bring Donna back as Dove.
That's just don't even put that out there, man. Don't even put that out there.
Hey, relax. So you think it's gonna be the actress that plays Dove?
Like, I'm Donna now.
Donna Troy. I hit my head. I'm Donna this time.
I'm Donna.
That's
I'm Donna.
I'm sad, and I'm happy, and I'm angry.
All in the same facial expression.
All these things like this.
Like this.
Like this.
This is what that looks like.
This is what all emotions look like.
Hey, you can't fight us like that. Stop. We will kick your ass.
Hey, stop that, guys. That's really wrong. You're gonna hurt a lot of people.
Man,
people could die.
Hawk, you're not the same Hawk from what I remembered.
I love you. Lay up the drugs, bro.
Dog, yeah.
I do drugs to feel something.
Because you feel nothing.
When I look at your face, I feel nothing.
Oh man. Either way, we might be in the minority, but I think we're in the minority of the people who are interested and excited for season 3 of Titans, to see it come back, to see it play out, to see what happens, see how it goes. I'm excited. You know what I mean? For better or for worse. Well. I am excited and I'm in for it. I look at it like this. No, Titans is not the perfect show. I think I've been consistent in saying that on here, even though I enjoy it. I think we've all been consistent in saying that. We don't think it's perfect, but we enjoy it. We like it. I think season 3 has a chance to maybe turn that up a notch, really get it into a show where people are like, whoa, no, you got to be watching this. This is some dope shit. I hope it does that. I hope it can turn into like what these Marvel shows are doing for us. But at the same time, for me, at least this show is different. It's it takes a chance. It takes a chance with these heroes. It challenges their notion as heroes. It challenges their decisions and everything they do. It shows that the decisions they make have consequences. It's not just we save lives and that's it. I like that. And I feel like they do a really good job of showing that in this, that they don't do as well as much in that Arrowverse shit, They just take some chances here better, I think. And so
Yeah.
that's why I'm more invested in watching this than any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, for anybody that might be like, "Oh, how can you watch this but you can't watch Arrowverse?" This is nowhere near as corny.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
not
mean?
corny.
Niggas is dying, bro. Like
And that's what I'm
shit is
saying.
real.
Like in the cinematic trailer, there's a line. He says, "Yo, people die here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
People
yeah. And he's
die
like, this is
here."
Gotham. He's like, no. He said no. And Nightwing was saying it. He's like, this is Gotham, bro. People die here. People like
Yeah,
us. Like,
die
just to
here.
let you know,
Yes.
the heroes die here, bro.
And I love
This ain't the spot
seeing-
where we sweet. We die. Like, give me
Like
that.
I love seeing superhero stuff where like the hero gets hurt, man. At least gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like
It's not just, and don't get me wrong. I don't think you're saying this either, Ian. It's not that there's not something for that. Or not that you're knocking anybody who does want to see just the hero come in and save the day and be 100% good and be nothing but righteous.
Yeah, that's boring.
There's something to that. I won't even call it boring because I can understand enjoying that. Sometimes you do want to see that. I just watched Superman the animated series and I enjoyed watching Superman just. I mean,
there's
and well, don't get me wrong.
Beyond life
There
type.
is some of it, but you know what I mean. It's
I get that.
He comes in and saves the day at the end of every episode. You know where it's going.
Yeah.
And we grew up on those cartoons where and if the episode doesn't end with the superhero saving the day, guess what? You just watched part one.
And maybe that's what it is. But we grew up on these cartoons. We've seen the superhero just make it through everything and just be okay.
All the time.
I think we're all at a point where us in general at our point where we kind of want to see the realistic point of it. Like
Facts.
we want to see, the bruises and at least or the cuts coming off of these missions.
And just really last point before we move to Loki. I think that we see this across the board. I think you see people in our generation now, we'll go watch like what's supposed to be like maybe a family comedy, right? Or even just like a sitcom like on Netflix or whatever. And we'll judge like the main characters in it. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm 24. I live in Brooklyn. I work as a waitress part-time and I'm an artist and I live here and I eat out every day and I never cook and we'll be like, fam, what the fuck is this? Because we're living it and we're like, fam, this is not, like it's not what you live.
You must get tipped really well.
Like what kind of tips? What kind of exclusive restaurant? Only did he eat at your restaurant and he leave you $1,000 a night? Like what are you doing at this restaurant that you can afford this apartment? We'll do that with stuff that isn't supposed to be analyzed that deep. You know what I mean? Like that's not the point of it. It's supposed to make you laugh or it's supposed to make you feel a little emotional or whatever. But what they're living in don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I feel like we're just, not to say we're rooted in realism. Don't get me wrong. We can do fantasy. But I just think when it comes to certain things, we want to see a little more of the reality of it. Like, yeah, Dick Grayson might be this ultra trained person. And yeah, Batman might be this, the peak of humanity, but he's still a human. He can still be injured. We want to see him take that hit sometimes and bounce back from it. We want to see that because that makes us feel like, yeah, I can take a hit and bounce back from it. And I feel like if you're constantly seeing the guy who's already strong and winning, that's no different than seeing the guy in high school who's bigger than everybody, picking on everybody who hasn't hit puberty yet. And then he also has the prettiest girl and he's whatever. It's just like, all right, bro, you got like, cool. You got everything already. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do we need to see your story? There's no growth. You're already the guy. Cool. Good for you. This gives us that growth. We get to see Nightwing struggle with decisions he's made. It's just, to me, it's just more, and don't get me wrong. Arrow started off that way. He was questioning decisions he made and, stuff he did, and he was an asshole and all that kind of stuff. Like but it's developed into this cheesy thing that I feel like Titans isn't going that same path. And being on HBO Max, I just can't see it happening. So, yeah, man, if you haven't watched it, hopefully maybe we said something here to convince you to check it out. We think Titans is really good. Season 3 looks really cool. If anything, you'll get to see, some comic book references in this season and, some more characters popping up. We get to see Starfire. Maybe we'll get to see some intergalactic stuff with Starfire and Blackfire and them fighting over everything. So, that should be dope, man. I think this will be really good, man. So good on WB for something, I guess, for the one thing that I can kind of look forward to with hope. And now on to Marvel. There's a spoiler drop in here somewhere. We about to spoil the hell out of this.
Spoiler.
Gerard been practicing. He got that.
I got all the funniest drops, man.
Ian, I'm gonna upload the audio because that no. I listen.
Actually, I need to hear that again because
send me that shit, man.
It's my fault. I wish I had timestamped it because I got to it a little bit by accident. I was skipping through the episode because I started to realize it wasn't many cuts. We kind of stayed on course pretty much. Well, I thought there was gonna be more I could cut out of it, but it wasn't much. So as I'm going through it, I just was clicking and I clicked the point, hit play, and it was just before you did it. And I knew it was coming. So I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, this is when Gerard did it. And I was like, it was funny in the episode, but how is it gonna come through in the audio? And man, I said RuneScape and Gerard just went. It's like
okay,
you heard
RuneScape.
it. It's like good. You heard it on a slight. It's
now
Neverland's Fall. So if you go
yes.
to, I didn't timestamp for every game.
No, not now.
Sorry,
now I
folks.
know.
But if you go on the YouTube video, go to the Square Enix section, and then just kind of go a little bit before wherever the next section. I think it's Xbox is next. So go to the Xbox and then maybe go back a couple minutes, and you'll get to that point. And it's right when I mentioned that it looked like RuneScape, and it's like it took your brain a second to process because the video makes it funnier. Because it's like Gerard stopped for like half a second and was like, RuneScape. And he's like, no. And it just came so clear. And it's almost like you couldn't stop yourself from saying no. Like it just kept coming out like, no. Like, no, you can just say RuneScape. Like, no, I don't. Yeah, that shit is perfect, man. That shit is really good, man. Yeah. It's
glad I've nailed the art of the the drops.
Yeah. Gerard know how to just randomly say some shit that's like that's perfectly droppable. Timing. And you said it at a right time where like I wasn't saying anything, Ian wasn't saying nothing, like there's no interference. It's just it's just it works.
Oh yeah, go ahead and send that, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sending it. There's no interference, bro. It works.
That's what I was concerned with.
Yeah. Dude, we're not saying shit, bro. It was perfect. Right? It just aligns. And that's what I mean. Like sometimes shit just happens. It's dope, man. It's dope. Anyways, y'all
don't have a soundboard with just Gerard drops.
Facts.
I hope not. We gotta get some with y'all on it.
No.
We got a couple with Derek.
I think I do have a couple from like way back, maybe, but okay. All right, another spoiler drop. Spoiler drop. Loki, episode 2. This episode, I'm gonna start off with this, and then I'm just gonna let y'all give me y'all thoughts on the episode overall, and then we'll dive into it. This episode made me, and I said this to y'all before, but whatever. This episode made me feel the understanding why they gave this a season 2. Mm-hmm. This episode specifically. The first episode was really good. Don't get me wrong. Very good. I thought it was very good. A lot of good pacing, everything. I thought this episode was perfectly paced as well. But watching this episode, I was like, this might have been, and I know Tom Hiddleston has come out and said like it's episode 4 and 5 where we really need to be like watching. Like that's when shit.
Oh, really?
He's come out and said that.
Oh, wow.
He's come out and said that like episode. He said he's excited for us to see episodes 4 and 5 because I guess that's when shit just
spirals out of control.
We're only
on 2, bro. But we got 2 Wednesdays.
But here's my thing.
Damn. I didn't even know about this.
I already feel like shit is spiraled.
Yeah,
like, for
man.
me, shit's already the fan.
Went off the rails.
You're telling me it's another level to that? Like we about to hit a different fan? Damn. So I'm already excited. This just made me know this episode. I was like, if I'm a director and I watch this episode, like this exact cut of it, shit, even a longer cut, I'd have been like, you know what, bro? Hey, give them niggas another $2 million or what they need. Give them a blank check. Y'all get a season 2. Actually, go ahead and shoot a season 3 while you at it. You don't gotta show me a script or nothing. Just do it. I trust you now. This is great. They are doing a great job. I love time travel. I love when it's done well.
Time Cop, the show. I'm so glad it's coming. Time Cop, the show.
Perfect. It really is. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. You even got a little cop jacket. Oh man, come on.
Yeah.
They're gonna start selling. Those
definitely
on the back.
Definitely, Disney's gonna sell a time cop jacket.
I'm gonna get one.
I might get one too. I'll be honest.
For sure.
Look how fast y'all become 12. Look how fast.
Hey
That's all y'all need, huh?
Now we 13, bro. We ahead.
We 13.
Y'all know damn well, y'all know good and well in real life. If police catch you, they gonna put Negro on the back of your jacket.
No.
See, they're gonna put variants on the back of mine.
I'm gonna put mine says not 12. It's gonna say not 12 on the back.
Just variants.
Yo, that's actually kind of fun. Oh my god, we gotta charge people for these. Okay, I'm judging.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty.
I'm judging.
The only thing is, I don't see how you can use any of that Marvel shit without getting like mashed with a hard copyright.
I don't care. It sounds good.
But it is a fire. That's fire. You get a little jacket.
I don't care. That's clean.
And it says variant, not 12.
Not 12.
Not 12. Just variant.
Just variant.
But then it still has like the Time Variance Authority badge and shit on the front. That could be a vibe. That might be.
I'm saving that.
Might have to mock something up on Photoshop.
Mock something up, man.
Mock something up for that. Man. But how do you guys feel about the episode? I loved it.
I loved it
overall.
The good news, it comes out on Wednesday, so it breaks up the week, the regular week.
Yeah, hump day.
The bad news is there's 3 days. Well, this episode, one more update of people listening until this actually comes out. So,
what do you mean?
No, you usually put these up on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, so next.
For those listening, it'll be the next day. Yeah.
Oh, got you. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I could throw this up earlier. This is only
no. I think this is perfect. This is perfect.
No, it's fine. I wasn't saying.
It could be like a refresher for anybody who watches this.
Oh, right. Okay.
It actually could.
Right. Yeah, it does line up better. Yeah, you're right.
It does.
Yeah. Smooth. Damn, I didn't even notice that. Damn, we right on accident.
Everything is happening. Universe. This is the sacred timeline.
Glorious purpose. Glorious purpose.
Glorious purpose. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, this episode. Let's see.
Oh, in overall. I don't know. You didn't say your overall.
Oh, overall, this is a fantastic episode.
2 for 2.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Yeah, 2 for 2. Man.
For 2.
Honestly, this episode actually solidified my feeling that this is actually the better of the 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know if it sounded last week like I was debating if I thought this was better than the other 2. The only reason I didn't specify last week is I listened back. It sounds like I was saying that. I've been thought that Loki was going to be the best show, period, from before, just from the announcement.
Yeah,
I was like, it's Loki and he's time traveling and he's what? Yeah, that's going to be the best show. I said that from like from the first time we heard about it. Like, so I already thought this was going to be better. I just wasn't convinced 100% that it was a better first episode overall than some of the others because I feel like they were just trying to do different things. But this is the superior series. We might not know who the superior Loki is yet.
We don't.
This is the superior series for sure. 100%. I'm not debating that with y'all. I'm 100% on board. This shit is way better than the other ones. Agreed.
100%. All right. Oh man,
this episode, man.
Yeah, so it starts out. It's like a Renaissance fair type deal in like the mid 80s. Some of the TVA time cop dudes come through and they're like, "Yo, where's the other Loki at? The Loki variant." They go in this like this dark tent area by themselves, not suspicious at all. And then you see one of the chicks. You can kind of tell like something kind of flows behind her and she gets kind of mind controlled. And then she goes up to everyone else and beats their asses. And then I can't remember if she either knocks out herself or not knocks out herself. She passes out herself, or if other Loki comes, that Loki's all hooded right now before we get the reveal at the end of the episode. And then she opens a time portal, drags her through, and then it cuts to like the intro, and it goes to Loki. So this is important. I actually jotted this down. A couple of the rules they made, like hard rules with like the TVA and stuff like that. And Loki talks to Miss Minutes, a little like clock character, basically says if a Nexus event, which is where a variant comes and messes something up within the sacred timeline, they have the graph that they hold that has like a bar graph that goes past the red line. If it goes past the red line, then the TVA can no longer, reset that event again. So that's the whole purpose of the time cops. They come through when variants are trying to mess some up. They yank them, bring them back, and they set a reset bomb that just resets the area to where it should be during that timeline. And the other rules they mentioned too, which is very important, and it's like what we were talking about before. The Nexus events destabilize the time flow. So for the TVA, they have to come in real time before red lines to reverse it, as opposed to coming to the very beginning, like before it even happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they were to do that, then it would cause
another type
of branch.
Right. So they have to follow, they have this set time, the sacred timeline against the set line is a constant. They have to just come in immediately and just alter within that window. So that's really what it is. So it was a cool baseline they set up. Yeah, so pretty much those first parts were just, I kind of like the first third of it. Well, not liked in general, but it was like where it has a bunch of like Loki trying to help Mobius and those guys figure out kind of like they have our Loki come with them to kind of understand the other Loki variant and what they're doing. And it kind of shows us that like Loki is still trying to be like manipulative, but then Mobius is like, no, we kind of see your way, so we're not listening to you 100%. So it's interesting. It's interesting how it's like they're trying to one up each other, Loki, like half the time, over and over in these different scenes and the dialogue, and it's really interesting. It's really.
Did you guys fall for it?
His lie about
the first lie when he was talking about the other Loki.
I didn't.
I'm not gonna lie, I did. I'll be honest. I did. I was like, damn. Here's the thing.
Like, that makes sense. He would know himself.
And then I was like, and the other Loki already exists outside of time, so she might already know that this Loki is meant to stop her. In which case, she needs to either eliminate him or bring him on to her side to help. Like, I was like, that kind of, I could see it. Like, but when Mobius was like, you almost had, I was like, he's like, he's lying. I was like, yeah, he probably is lying, huh? Like that.
Yeah,
I mean, it
sounds
real good.
That he might be, he may just try to deceive them.
Yeah,
I don't know
why. Once it clicked, I was like, he ain't have enough evidence to come up with none of this shit. I'm like, but it got me for a second. I had to be honest.
Yeah,
I had to be honest. It got me for a second. I was like,
I mean, it was definitely something that Loki would say, just be like, oh, you like see TVA and Asgard are like the same. It's like y'all are always like kind of listening out, but you're not paying attention to the fangs. It's like the our listening is this lethal, but the fangs are even more lethal or something like that.
Yeah.
To where it's like you always kind of follow and stuff, but then that's what the stuff is you least expect when they pounce on you. That's what gets you guys. You keep thinking in your head, but you're not really. So that was interesting itself too. So they go back to TVA and kind of the other main things that kind of explain this episode, especially with like Loki trying to figure stuff out. It kind of already dropped where like before they left, Mobius was like, yeah, if you kind of help us with this, we might let you chat with the timekeepers. And Loki's like, what? Timekeeper? And it's like, yeah, just stay focused or whatever. But they come back, they go to the little big grand library where Loki's supposed to try and figure out the pattern of the variant going around. And basically, he straight up goes to the librarian, was like, I would like all the books to the beginnings of the TVA. And then she's like, hey, that's hilarious, but it's classified. And he's like, oh, well, I want everything about the timekeeper. And she's like, that is also classified, bro. Like, I don't know who you think you are. I mean, sure, that jacket's nice.
Walk in here and
jacket's nice.
Yeah, like, why do you think you can walk up in here? Yeah. So
that's bold, man. You got to credit him for that.
Yeah,
you're confident, bro. It's just hey,
you gotta be, man. You gotta make bold claims.
I want all the files on the beginning and end of time. Yep.
I think it's real. Yup.
No. Why would I do that?
No, what the fuck?
And you have no power here. No, I'm not giving it to you.
Exactly.
So I cannot? Nah, I'm cool.
Yep. And then he's like, well, I just need anything I can get about Loki, so or just stuff in general. And she kind of goes to Niles, like, here you go, big old books. And then that's when he discovers, well, see, okay, now I'm thinking about it. In episode 1, where he was looking at that picture of like his original Loki's lifetime, and he saw that, they're on Asgard when Ragnarok's about to pop off. But here he reads it. And like, is this not like, is it just kind of settling with him? Like, oh shit, Ragnarok did happen and Asgard's gone?
He didn't experience Ragnarok yet.
He hasn't experienced that. Loki hasn't experienced it, but also when he watched it in that scene, it didn't. He was scrolling through, So he only saw a scene. He didn't see the whole thing play out.
Right.
So in his mind, it was probably saved or whatever. Like nothing actually happened, but he didn't watch it all the way through. He scrolled forward to his end, and then so now he actually went back and read it, and he's like, wait, Asgard's dead, and most of his people are dead, and he's like, oh shit, and it clearly affected him. But then obviously when he got back with Mobius, he started acting like he didn't care that much. He's like, oh yeah, it's very, very sad.
But that's what he always did. Yes, that's his MO.
Yeah. Yep. So that kind of the realization of, oh shit, Ragnarok did happen.
For sure. And I will say this too. I thought before we move on from the first part, I thought the pacing through the first part was really good.
It is.
But even just like Loki, even with us getting Loki like just sitting at his desk and like how they explain to us how much information he's taken in and how much he's learned about the TVA and the role and
no time wasted.
Job. It was really good how they did it. Exactly. Like it was good information that you got. I felt like it impacted you, but it didn't waste your time with it. It wasn't this long 5 minute, or not 5 minute, but this long 1.5 minute scene of him reading books in different positions and going to, what I mean? They could have done
every
that.
Scene was intentional.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And I love that.
Like even with that one, we got more information on how the time variance works and all the rest of it.
It was
all the rules involved.
Yeah, when Loki broke, or even we kind of skipped over that part, but in the tent, when he's in the tent and he was explaining to them the difference between was he in the tent?
Oh yeah, when they went back to that time period, 1985,
and he was explaining to him about the duplication versus.
Oh, before they left.
That was before they left.
Before they left. Yeah, and he was breaking it down. Yeah, that was before they left. My bad. It wasn't actually after that. Yeah. So before they left, and he was doing that. I think that was really interesting. Don't get me wrong. I don't know that it's plot shifting in any specific way yet, but it was just cool to hear him explain it and hear him be on his like.
It's not an illusion. It's an actual manifestation.
You can tell Tom Hiddleston really.
I think he read like everything. Character. He read. I think he did all his homework.
He's into this character, bro. He's like, you can tell, like, I don't know what it is, man, but you can tell a character that. Not to say that actors don't, care about their job or want to do a good job, but there's some actors for the long haul.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's some actors, they do something and you're like, oh, I see, like the role, but I guess that full embodiment ain't there. Versus like Tom Hiddleston, Heath Ledger, like it's like, oh, you're that role, like. He's to me, he's now worked himself into a spot where it's like, I don't know that I can see anybody else as our main Loki. I'm cool with like variants or whatever of that, but as Loki, I'm like, it's like, yo, you embodied this so well, like you fit
the lesser Lokis,
the lesser
Loki.
Yeah, the lesser Lokis, exactly. Yeah, man, he's just they did a great job, man. Great job.
Yeah,
but sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, that was a good idea. That was a good thing. Yeah. So in between all that, and when you kind of finds the paperwork about Ragnarok, and he kind of thinks about it, and he's like, wait a minute. It's like, what if? And he comes with a theory, like, what if this variant is actually hiding out within like whatever, in separate apocalypses. We're gonna call it apocalypses.
I think it's apocalypses.
Sure. Okay. Cool. It sounds right.
Apocalypse is what you were about to say. I know it is.
I know. I thought about it. I was like, this doesn't sound right either. I'm gonna say apocalypse. Oh god, I'm crazy. But no, okay, apocalypses. So yeah, and he's like, he goes back to Mobius and he gives like the food metaphor, which is goofy because he just ruined his lunch. But he basically was just like, yeah, like, so if someone were to come and do what they want to do in between, like right before an apocalypse, the apocalypse will wipe everything out since it's part of the sacred timeline. And he's on a theory. Moby's like, that sounds like some bullshit. And he broke it down to him to where like this Loki, the variant Loki will come around, change things or jack certain stuff, but they would go
insignificant to the
grander scheme of things. Yeah. So it just wipes stuff out. So then they're like, okay, well let's go test it. And at Asgard Ragnarok now, then Moby's like, no, we shouldn't do that. Like, nah, fuck that. You might just want to dip and, blah, blah, blah. And he's okay. Well, let's try a quote unquote smaller apocalypse.
Right.
And they go back to Pompeii, Italy. And
I thought that was funny. I just thought it was interesting that they chose Pompeii. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. That was interesting. I had to look it up myself because I was like, I don't remember this. I'm not saying I believe it. I just was like, I really don't remember this. I haven't. Yeah, world history is not my forte like that.
I only remember it because of the movie that they made of Pompeii happening.
Oh, really? See, I didn't see that movie, so
yeah,
it is what the T is. But yeah, so they go back to Pompeii, Italy in the year 79 AD, right before the volcano's supposed to erupt. And basically Loki goes out and makes a run because he's like, hey guys, we're from the future and you're all gonna probably gonna die. I'm gonna let your farm animals escape and cause this ruckus. And then that was his way of, one, just doing some minor thing of like letting these animals go. So now they won't be able to, eat or whatever. And then two, he lets them know, hey, you guys are gonna die soon. He didn't say how they're gonna die. He just said, yeah, your demise is coming real quick, like, so that for the people to be like, okay, well, he's telling us we're gonna die soon. Whatever. Who the hell is this guy? Why is he wearing a brown jacket? What are jackets in 79 AD? And then the volcano erupts and he goes to Mobius. Mobius is like, bro, why are you over there doing this? I told you to just kind of be calm and relax. He's looking at his little TVA thing, and there's no time, like the time is still stable. So I proved this theory correct. So it was like, oh snap, we need to figure out where this other variant Loki would be going. And they both go to the library. And then Mobius remembers the candy from the first episode when he went back and saw that little child, and they had this candy called Kablooey. It was like, I don't know, gum candy or whatever. And they cross-referenced it. Apparently that specific candy was only being sold from the years 2047 to 2051, so 4 or 5 years. So they cross-reference every notable apocalypse during that time, at least in the US, apparently. And they pinpointed to this place in Alabama in 2050, small town that got ravaged by a hurricane, wiped the whole town out. So they go there and then they're like, yo, we got Mobius like, okay, let's get everybody and go here, like all the forces. And then the black chick who runs the TVA, for what we know, Ravana, she was just like, do we really need to send all these people here? Like, what if this is another like farce? Because you sent him with you in 1985 to the Renaissance Fair thing. That didn't work out. We still don't have our one TVA agent chick. We don't know where she is. And he was just like, oh, they'll give us a chance. I really feel good about this. This is a good theory, blah, blah, blah. So they go there. And which is funny, they go there. I kind of, when I watched it, I kind of thought it was funny because they walked in and it was raining. They're like talking like, hey man, we need to split up this. And I'm like, she knows y'all there. Like, there's cameras and shit. It's supposed to be like a big old grocery store building. People are holed up in there. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's one of those funny things to me.
Because I wanted to two things there, because both times it happened, because this is the second time that it happened, at least that I noticed it. Mm-hmm. When the Time Variance Authority travels back in time, and maybe this is just a slight plot hole, so maybe a slight criticism. They go back to a time point wherever they go. They come out this glowing door into wherever they walk out. No one reacts.
A door that remains open for a period of time.
And it just sits there.
Yeah, true. Yep.
And they all walk out and no one reacts to them just showing up. Not only that, we know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it was Wanda's like chaos magic that caused it. But I would assume that the Time Variance Authority, being this higher power, would have some way of sending them into a time period where they can blend in and still be armored and everything like that. Two, I hate the fact that these niggas only have batons. You telling me they can't put this shit in a bullet or something? Like, but fine. That's also another just slight criticism of it. But the fact that they keep showing up and people don't really react to them or how different they look. When they showed up in 2050, that one made a little more sense because you're in the future. They've got like gear. They look like military. So I could understand. And obviously, like, 2050 isn't that far from us now. So
it's a near future.
It's near future for us. Yeah. But you look at that and you would say that looks like a military person or a police force person. Like, that doesn't look too crazy of an outfit, especially in a natural disaster for somebody to be showing up. So I could understand maybe why people aren't harassing them necessarily. But then again, it is a natural disaster and they're holding up at a market. You think more than that one dude who was like, call somebody or call the National Guard or whatever he was asking. You think more people would have been like, hey, we need help. Like, so is more help coming? Or like, you just think there would have been a little more commotion with random people with weapons and that look official just show up in your grocery store where you're holding up for shelter. I just thought that was a little odd with that, how they kind of did that. I don't know. That just threw me off. And then you were saying about the damn, it just slipped my mind. Fuck.
Oh, like how other Loki would know that they're coming, I guess.
No, I know that she would know they're oh, well, yeah, that's part of it as well, too. Just that for people that can control and travel through time, it's just very odd that they don't seem that prepared. Like, they don't seem that smart. They don't seem like they're given. And I wonder if that's not by design, if they all believe that they were created by the timekeepers and that they're not variants themselves that were pulled out of a timeline and maybe had their brains wiped or something like that. If they all are created by the timekeepers genuinely, then it would make sense to give them a limit. Basically, I don't want you guys to become too smart. I don't want you guys to become too efficient, because at some point you might want to delete me or question me. So I need to keep you to a certain point where you do what you do. But now obviously they've ran into a Loki variant that is, going off the rails. It might be something else I wanted to say, but I'd have to listen back to it to hear. I couldn't remember what I was trying to say, so I don't know. Whatever.
No, that's all good. Well, I mean,
it was that point of just, they keep showing up and they don't, like, people don't react enough for me when they show up.
Yeah, they don't.
It's like every time they do it, it's like that, because when they show up at the beginning of the episode, they show up in the middle of wherever that was again. And
at the circus,
medieval
times
place, and no one reacted.
Yeah. No one reacted. The one lady reacted saying, "Oh, you need your tickets or whatever the hell."
And that's what I'm saying.
Look at my outfit. I'm wearing this outfit.
I just walked through a glowing door in the middle of reality. That should throw you off.
Yeah.
Set a reset charge and it won't matter, but that should throw you off. Like, it should ensue chaos right there.
Like, I was thinking maybe they only place those glowing doors in like places where they know people aren't going to be there.
Dog, look.
But
I
don't know, man. It's a golden door that just appears,
bro, and they keep showing up in like the middle of courtyards, like busy centers. They don't be showing up in like. Don't get me wrong. I think there was one where they did show up in the field. I think early on there was like maybe one. I think it was like a
field yes,
that was like that. They showed up in a field. That made sense. But the variant, obviously Lady Loki, we know now, had done whatever she did out in that area, so that's where they showed up. That's cool. We can live with that. But they show up in towns. They show up right in the middle of shit where people are walking and living their lives, because they don't know that they're in an offshoot of a timeline in a Nexus event. They have no idea what's happening. They're just living, and they just show up, and people just don't react. And maybe they can explain that. Maybe they will explain that somewhere, because the Nexus event has been triggered here. And now when they show up, I don't know, maybe there's something, or maybe there's something in the way they show up. Maybe they show up looking like military of the time in the perception of all the people there. Maybe there's something like that does. I don't know. I'm trying to understand how these people can just show up looking like they look and people don't really react. Like, it just seems a little off for me. Even Mobius, he's wearing very normal, like very, very updated clothes. Modern clothes. When he just goes back in time, it's like, yo, why do you have on boots, bro? We all wear sandals. Like, what?
Right.
It's like, so I don't know. But they a little bit of criticism.
For sure.
I'm not gonna hang on that though. Still love the show.
Oh yeah. It's definitely just observations for sure. So yeah, they reached the it's called Rock's cart, which I feel like is a reference to Roxxon, maybe.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
It's got to be some sort of offshoot of that.
Yeah.
Roxxon sponsored supermarket, Roxxon owned supermarket.
Yeah, I just didn't know they had it's probably just an Easter egg. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they reached there and they're trying to figure out who's Loki gonna go with our Loki that we know, and so decided that I don't need to get the actress name. The black chick who's with them always.
She's B-15.
Yes, B-15. Agent B-15. Yeah. So Agent B-15 has Loki go with her, and everyone else will go with Mobius, and they split up to locate the variant Loki, Lady Loki. And then as we walk, you see this one dude in this aisle of like azaleas. It's like that. I mean, all right, we're just gonna be walking around looking for plants. And we don't know if we're gonna survive this hurricane, this natural disaster. And they go over there and like, hey man, what are you doing? He's like, oh,
hurricane sale.
It's a hurricane sale. It's for azaleas. And then B-15 walks up with the baton and tries to like zap his dumb ass. But instead, he just puts the hand on her, zoop, mind control, and he falls down. And then she kind of just slowly turns around, and Loki kind of knows what happened. But then she just like, oh, he's like, is he gonna be all right? And she's like, yeah, most of the time they are. And he realized, oh, okay, it's you. And she's like, oh yeah, you're that Loki that's been following me the whole time. And so they had their little dialogue back and forth. That part.
That was a good scene. She acted really well in that scene. Shout out to her. We do need to get her name. Real fast. She did let me get her name real fast for us. Keep going, but I'll get her name. She did a great job in that scene.
Everyone in that scene that was getting mind controlled and talking like Lady Loki, all of them did fantastic. It was really good. So yeah, they showed that, and then they before that we actually saw going a little out of turn, but before that we actually saw that like as they walked in, we saw a camera pan out to like security cameras. And you see Lady Loki there. She's still hooded, so we don't know if she's Lady Loki yet. But she's hooded, and she's kind of like obviously watching. Like, oh, they're here. And she puts down the little time thing that has a 20-minute timer and just walks out. But yeah, it leads up to that point where she catches them. And so basically Loki's walking with that impersonating Lady Loki of B-15, and basically just like, oh, it's like you're supposed to be the lesser Loki because I led the whole TVA here to find you. And she was just like, man, honestly, fuck that. You're kind of a coward for working with the TVA anyway. You think that's gonna get you some brownie points? And then Loki reveals to us, he's like, no, I'm playing my own game here. I'm just working with them for my end to meet what I'm trying to do. And it reveals that he wants to overthrow the timekeepers.
I don't know that I believe that.
That could be misdirection as well. Yeah,
I think that's a misdirection that they just didn't bother to correct for us yet. I don't think he actually wants to do that. I do think he wants to know what's going on. He wants to know the truth. Whether he really wants to overthrow the timekeepers, I don't know that he believes that yet. Yeah. I think he was saying that in hopes that it would convince
her to join him.
Thinking that's what she wanted to do as well. When she's like, I don't give a fuck about overthrowing them niggas.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
It's like this isn't
like, okay, not what you want. All right. I think pretty much assumption trying to get on her good side, see if he could get in with her.
Yeah, right on the money there for sure. I agree with you. Yeah. And then and that happens. And then as Mobius and them are looking around, they go into one of the office and they find agent, I think his name is B-20 from the beginning that got snatched up.
Yeah.
C-20
with the dreads.
That's right. B-20, C-20. God, the letters. Okay, C-20, and she's kind of like.
I just watched it again this morning. I got it right.
I just haven't committed their agent name.
I don't know why they stuck out to me so much in this. I don't know. It was just they only gave him the agent name, so I guess I was just like, oh, I don't know why. I guess I was expecting them to give them regular names at some point, but it was like, no, that's Hunter B-15. That's Hunter C-20. Old girl is. The judge lady, she's Hunter A-23, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really cool. I liked it. I'm
gonna go back throughout this weekend. I'm gonna memorize their names for sure. So that's right. Yeah, so they find C-20 in the room, and she's kind of like she's going through. She's just like, oh, it's real, and it's like, what the hell are you just like? What's going on? What are you saying? It's real. And so I want to go home. It's like, yeah, we'll go home. And she's like, no, wait, we can't. It's like, why? And it's like, I told her the location of the timekeepers. And it's like, oh, well, that's not good. Now, is it? But then it looks like they're going to get her to get ready to leave. And they're going to look for Loki and B-15. Yes. Right. Yeah. And as they're walking, it's still Todd's dialoguing still. Loki tried to convince her to come to his side. She's like, well, you know, what I'm doing is different from what you're doing. And so after consideration, I'm going to have to decline. And it's like, okay, well, whatever. And they see another dude that works there, some dude at the Rocks cart. And he kind of has that little like corporate, hi, can I help you guys here? She's like, yeah, you can. Touch the hand. B-15 passes out or falls asleep again. And then just mind controls the dude and they continue their conversation. And then later it shows that actually help me out here, Derek. So when they go, what triggers that character to transform into the bigger dude before they start fighting?
The bigger guy. There's a touch interaction. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
He
Oh wait. Oh no, it's like when they're walking, right?
They're walking, and then she did a transition, and then kind of came out of nowhere on him. I think it was right. Like he didn't switch from the body to the other one. Loki was like turned around maybe or something.
Yeah, I remember what it was. It was where they're trying to.
Loki had just seen the first bomb.
Yes.
Loki had just seen the first reset charge, not bomb.
Yes, and he's like, "Oh, I see. So you're trying to set this place all the way back or whatever." And then he looks up forward, does the typical, "Oh, they're gone," and he's like, "Where did he go?" And all of a sudden,
he gets kicked.
He gets kicked the fuck back by this bigger biker looking dude, and just off screen, she translates to the sends to the other dude. And then they kind of do the fight where it's like, "Oh, thanks for stalling for me because you like talking, Loki, blah blah blah," and they fight and stuff.
Love hearing yourself talk.
Love hearing yourself talk. Yep. So they have that go on. Then Lady Loki taking over the big dude, throws Loki far enough to kind of gets knocked down for a bit. And then and it shows him wake up a bit later, like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened?" And you see her still controlling the big dude, like hunched over, like finishing up the part of the bombs that's about to set off.
Yeah.
And he gets up and he's like, why are you doing this? Like, who are you doing this for? This, that, and the other.
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me? Yeah, what do you want from me? And then turns around, it's like, "Oh, Loki, welcome back. You're too late." And then it's like, why don't you just show yourself? Stop being a coward. Loki says that and all that. And you start hearing the echoing of I think big dude passes out and you see the echoing of like, "What do you want from me? What do you want from me?" And it pans, it turns around, you see Lady Loki there all in the hood, and then she takes the hood off, and it's like, oh, I mean, we've been saying she this whole episode, but pretty much everyone watching for the first time, that's when you're like, oh shit, this Loki is a woman.
He's a woman, yeah.
Yes. So I guess at this point forward, we'll just say Lady Loki. And so Lady Loki is just like, this isn't about you for the most part. And then she pressed the button, and that's when we see not only that one reset bomb glide up, but we see like dozens. I'm gonna just say dozens because that sounds crazy, but like dozens just appear in that whole building, just light up, and they all set off. But the crazy thing about it is not only because usually when they set them off, it's for that one area.
Yeah.
But before they set off and they turn like from orange to blue, the small little square gold portal appears under each one. They teleport somewhere. And that's when it pans into the TVA and it shows the big like sacred timeline graph, and you see all these branching paths. And everyone there starts freaking out, like the stock market is crashing. Like, oh god, we have a case number 000, blah, 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 all this, blah blah blah.
Dude took the phone out of Buddy's hand. No, this shit is.
He's like, we got a code. It's like, no, motherfucker, this shit going down real quick.
We all going
codes.
Down. Codes.
Right.
Down. We got a code 001.
Code 0.
We are fucked.
Here's the code. Get the fuck out of here.
Ain't no code, nigga. We about to die.
Oh god.
Allegedly.
Rotary phones. Come on, man.
Rotary phones.
I like. Okay, I do like that charm with this show. It kind of goes for that 50s, 60s sci-fi, because I think back then they were really experimental with stuff. With sci-fi entertainment movies, music, stuff like that. So it's all, and that kind of adds to a lot of the soundtrack. It's very ambient, electronic, spacey. They threw a theremin in there earlier, which I like theremins because they sound so alien. So it's like everything's futuristic, but they're still using this old timey stuff. So it's kind of a funny contrast.
And again, that goes back to my theory, though, doesn't it? Like,
oh yeah,
want to limit them, so we're not gonna give you advanced
stuff,
right?
Yeah, none of that.
I can see that.
Use this. You use the base version of everything.
Yep.
The only thing they can do with I guess quote unquote free will is take shit from random timelines that they're about to reset or whatever, and be able to, use that. They can.
And it's just weird though, because it's like a mix of new age tech and old age tech. They got these portal doors that they walk through. New age tech. They got these wands that can basically delete somebody.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
rewind
they
buttons.
don't shoot. Yeah, they got handheld rewind buttons.
Yep.
And
they got rotary phones. It's intentional.
They got rotary phones.
All they have is a baton. They have
they only have a baton.
No other way to delete variants, but with a baton that you have to physically hit them with. That sounds to me like we anticipate that most of the problems y'all are going to have are going to be small ones that we're going to train you to be elite enough to get close enough to hit them. But what if you can? Because what if because to me, even with the baton, B15, before getting any closer, should have chucked the baton at him. Now,
I mean, I could see that being like a thing where like a safeguard as far as deleting the wrong person. If you shoot somebody that you weren't supposed to shoot, you can mess around and delete them by accident.
But even still, if you did it, you're only there in a Nexus event. So anything you do doesn't matter anymore. We got to remember that. We're gonna reset it, and everybody will come back.
I mean, prior to them, prior to them understanding that it's Nexus events that they're aiming to go towards.
That's the only time the Minutemen go out there is when they have to fix a Nexus event. They
don't
just go to random.
That's all purpose of the
hunters. It's only for a Nexus. Like, oh, you did something wrong. You did something that you weren't supposed to do.
It's gonna be reset anyway.
We got to come in and
capture them and bring them back to TVA.
And that's why they said a lot of the times, even listen to how they introduced it. They were saying that if you do anything wrong, and they even made it seem like if you're late to work on a day you weren't supposed to be late to work, that could throw off the timeline. So that they'll step in. You think that guy is about to have a full on, or he's ready or prepared to battle you? If you get to no, you just walk up to him, tap him real quick, reset, boom, everything goes back to normal. So I feel like it just shows, like, I feel like the more we think about it, the more we talk about it, it shows more and more ways they're limited into being what would probably be the most efficient versions of themselves. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Definitely, yeah, get held back. Oh, I didn't say it earlier. B15, her name is Wumni Mo. I don't know if it's Mo or Mu. I think it's Mo Saku.
Oh wow.
Wumni
Okay, cool.
Mo Saku. Actually really cool, just offshoot. She worked with Tom Hiddleston before on a movie called Leading Lady Parts. I'd never seen that before.
Never heard of it.
I think that helped because, like I said in that scene, I thought she did a really good job. She seemed very comfortable, which makes sense. She had worked with Tom Hiddleston before, so they already had some sort of level of familiarity going into that scene, which made that fit really well. Like Tom Hiddleston has become he's that guy, man. And I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true or not. I might be just fan making this up in my head. I am, because I don't know if this is fact. If he like went out his way to like even just get her an audition, be like, hey, she'd be really good for a role like this. That's what's up, bro. Like, that's really dope. If he did that, like somebody he worked with before was like, oh, she'd fit this role. Like, bring her over here. We already have a chemistry. We can do this scene. That would be dope to me, man. Because to me, she's done a really good job, even though I feel like her character overall is a little bit too straightforward. Not the word, but
one note in a sense.
No. You know what it is? It's not her character. All the characters are like that. They're too loyal to what they believe the timekeepers are.
Oh, right. They don't
question shit. Yeah. So she's just like, you're wrong. You're a variant. You're evil. I should kill you. And it's like, yo, relax. So it's not. But other than that, she's doing a great job acting this role though. So shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Shout out
to her.
Definitely.
And also totally Sasha Lane. Sasha Lane is the one who's playing Hunter C20.
C20. Okay.
But yeah. Okay, off all the charges. And that's clearly what took it so long too, right? Like she gets all of these reset charges, which has to take a long time because they're only bringing one to each Nexus event. So she has to create these Nexus events and show up, get the reset charge, and go back to it, then go hide in this apocalypse, which nobody else could figure out this whole time, and keep stocking them up. And then she has to also get the time opener travel door thingies. She has to get a bunch of those. She has to get one of those to match
the time reset bombs
of the resets she goes with. And then to have it on a timer so that the Time Variance Authority, we saw them scrambling. I don't think they have a choice. Those bombs were pretty much already about to explode before they dropped through the door. When they drop through, they're exploding over wherever they're landing. Instantly. Reset, dunzo. Or whatever it's going to happen. But I do think there might be a little bit of, I think this show is setting us up, and we could be wrong, but I think the show is setting us up not to trust the timekeepers. And I wonder if maybe they're lying about the effects of all these Nexus events or what could really happen. Like we were saying earlier, it could be a thing where they're just trying to keep themselves alive. So maybe they know if a certain Nexus event happened, because they come from the end of time, they know if certain events happen, it would stop the creation of them. And so that's what they're protecting is the sacred timeline.
They are the sacred timeline.
They are the sacred timeline. And so instead, you know, they say, oh, if you do all this, it will mess up the whatever. And it's like, no, actually, everybody will be fine. It's just y'all that won't be okay. And that could be, you know, a thing that's happening here. And that might be what Lady Loki is trying to prove to them. Like, you're working with the Time Authority, don't worry. I'm about to show them themselves that what everything they believe isn't true. It doesn't even make sense. Here's a Nexus event that's happening and nothing matters. Like, nothing changed about that timeline that you come from. Nothing changed. That nothing happened over there. It's just different people, you know, so it could be cool. I don't know, man. But yeah, shout out to them for that. And that's more or less where the episode ended, right? Was it anything else?
Well, they showed the screen of the branching path. The timelines branching,
and all the locations. Yeah,
and you had mentioned the Easter eggs of all the locations. It just kind of goes through really a bunch. Cool.
So many random places, man. Like, and shout out to all the YouTubers out there who will go through the work to find those locations. I think there's a location list out there on Reddit somewhere now. But shout out to the people who will like find that location, location list. And then actually cross-reference it with MCU history shit, like whatever we've seen so far.
Yeah. Well, most people got to remember. Obvious.
Well, yeah, a lot of them are.
Some of them are obvious.
No, I say some of them are obvious, but you also got to think some of them aren't specifically obvious because it may be a place that we see and we're like, oh, we know where that place is. But the time period specifically that they're going to,
the time period
may or may not have seen it. You know, we don't know exactly how that's. And we got to assume that Lady Loki is picking these places intentionally. She's not just dropping them in random time. I mean, she could be, but they're also, with the way she's shown herself as being highly intelligent and doing everything with a plan, I'm going to assume she's dropping them in these exact locations for specific reasons. They're going to create some sort of branch that makes things happen completely different or something. You know what I mean? Like, somehow that has to happen. And yeah, I just, she did a great job. Oh, man.
Yeah. Honestly, this episode, it's just the fact that all this branching stuff is happening suddenly, and the stuff is like close to redline. That's what they show. They show Ravonna. She's the screen where it shows all the branching paths and locations and time periods and stuff and events. Okay. And Ron's like, oh shit. She grabs her baton and walks off, walks out. And I'm like, oh, what's her baton do? The same as the others?
A baton, yes. She must have a special baton.
Yeah, special baton. So yeah, like you said, that's pretty much so the very, very, very end, that's the second to last scene. The very end is this shows Lady Loki, she opens her own portal. And she like walks toward it and she kind of like waves goodbye to regular Loki, walks through, but she doesn't close it.
Nope.
Immediately. So it's clear. It's like, oh, you can follow me if you want. Yeah, she knows exactly.
You know her nature. You want to follow me. You curious. Come on.
Yep, pretty much. And Loki kind of pauses and he looks at it. And you hear Mobius and a couple other hunters. Like, Loki, wait, Loki.
I'm not waiting.
Like, please, I'm about to see.
If you think I'm waiting.
I'm about to see what's going on through here. And he walks through it. And they're like, no. And then it cuts in the credits. And that's the episode. And it's like,
I was like, this nigga went through the door, man. I thought they were going to be able to stop him I thought that was gonna be the first time we see somebody try to throw their baton or shoot something. Nah, right through that bitch.
Yep.
But I will say, I think Loki's intentions have changed a bit, and I don't know that he walked through there purely to try to escape.
I think he walked through just straight up. He was curious. What the hell?
I think it's curiosity.
What the hell is this Lady Loki doing?
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you up to? How'd you even get to this point? You know, I think that's what it is. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out now. I think that's really dope. One thing I want to ask you about, Dry, I don't know if you looked it up, but you know me, I don't read Marvel comics, so I got to go look shit up. And every time I go look up comic books and shit like that and try to find shit, I always end up finding up, you know, random information. That's how I knew about the next Falcon from Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I didn't know that. I never read that comic. I just was looking up random stuff and found this information. Ravonna is a very interesting character. One, because we know that her hunter designation was A23, but she has a real name now. Why does she have a real name and everybody else doesn't necessarily have?
That's a good idea. I actually have no idea. So what I've been doing for this show, since I don't know most things about the Loki stuff, outside of a couple of things, a couple of panels I've seen online with no context. I don't know anything. I have no idea what her character means. Maybe she has a special connection to the Timekeepers. or something.
All right, can I go? Can I tell you what I found?
Hey, you can go ahead.
Do y'all care? Do y'all? Because it could spoil things. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, we already in spoiler territory.
This is a spoiler cast.
Drop.
Yeah. The spoiler cast.
Sure.
Okay. So, have you guys heard that? Well, maybe not Ian, because I know you're not on social media as much. But have you heard the theory that one of the timekeepers might be Kang the Conqueror?
You know what?
The one that looks a little human-esque.
He is a.
Nah, I don't know. Is he a timekeeper? I don't know.
Well, I know he's a time lord.
Yeah,
where
so
he
would travel through time.
He can run through and just fuck shit up. But I think he is going to be one of the next big bad to the MCU.
So yeah. So again, so we know that, and a lot of people were making it's Jonathan Majors.
Yes, Jonathan Majors is cast as King Conqueror for Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yes,
that is where they cast him. So yeah.
So if and people were saying that that first time we got to see the timekeepers, they were saying one of them looked a little bit like Jonathan Majors. Now, obviously, it doesn't look fully like his face structure. It's a little bit twisted because he's supposed to be this reptilian character or whatever. So who knows how he may be disguising himself if he is indeed one of those timekeepers. But if that's supposed to be Kang the Conqueror, Ravonna Renslayer is a love interest of his.
Really?
And that gives more credence to all those moments in here where Mobius, who clearly has some sort of interest in Ravonna, Mobius as well is another character here with a real name, not a hunter designation.
Right.
Mobius clearly has some sort of soft spot for her, and she clearly has some for him to some degree. But he keeps mentioning, oh, your other favorite. Oh, your other, there must be somebody else. There must be another guy. He keeps saying that.
He does.
And she keeps shrugging him off and making it seem like it's whatever. And making it seem like all she does is
focus.
They might name drop Kang in this show? They can't,
but
man.
Kang they could. I don't know if he'll show up, but he might get name dropped. What I think will probably happen is he may, once he realizes his plan with this whole timekeeper charade, assuming that's what's happening. Now we're in assuming cast land, guys. I don't know that this is happening.
Right. Oh, yeah. Don't tell you this fact.
But if he is the one who's kind of been playing this timekeeper thing, trying to create a sacred timeline where, and also for anybody who doesn't know, Kang the Conqueror is a distant relative of Reed Richards. So he is connected to that. So
yes,
if you just take everything in context with Marvel and shit, Kang the Conqueror and this shit being the timekeeper person trying to create this sacred timeline where he exists, and at the end of time, he's the only one, or he's in control of whatever. Assuming that the Loki's come through, they fuck that up. Now you have Kang, he's got to go back in time to hide somewhere else or wherever. He becomes a bigger villain in a different way, or enacts another plan. But he's also connected. If Kang the Conqueror exists, Reed Richards has to exist in this universe somewhere.
Absolutely.
It could even be that Kang is trying to not kill the timeline. He might be trying to manipulate the timeline so that the X-Men or people who do know who he is or something like that, maybe his family, his former family or whatever, they can't come find him because he's erased them now from this, because he's somehow, it could be anything. I don't know. I'm just throwing out them.
No. I mean, we know
that here means everything is open, floodgates open, because Kang means Reed Richards, which means Fantastic Four, which means mutants, which means everything, right? Like that, that's the key.
Even back to like WandaVision, months ago, we were talking about it. When Monica was mentioning, an astrophysicist, a friend of hers for Sword, and I'm thinking, now there's two main astrophysicists. Yeah, there's Reed Richards, then there's Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, that would be more interesting.
That would have been super dope, man.
That would be dope. Another black comic book character.
Yeah, that would have been dope for her to.
That would be cool.
Oh man, they should have probably a special Juneteenth WandaVision episode where she meets up with him, with Blue Marvel. They should have done that.
That'd be fine.
Marvel don't care about black people.
They kind of do.
No, I'm just obviously they've done some tries. We're not knocking them. I was joking.
I know.
I want
to tell jokes here. We tell jokes here. Yeah, but okay. So so I didn't know that Ravonna and Kang Conqueror had any connection. So that's new to me. So that's cool. Damn, this show's gonna be good. All right, so
I told you, man. Yeah, this shit is some shit.
I'm glad I'm going into. I've been avoiding a lot of the. Honestly, I've been avoiding a lot of the YouTuber stuff. So I'm just kind of going to this clean to see what they're doing with the time stuff for the MCU. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, the Fantastic Four movie is coming in a couple of years. They're.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
2-3 years.
Because I agree with you. Like, I mean, I guess the thing for me is every Marvel show I'm more or less going into with minimal knowledge
until we finally
get most
X-Men.
Characters, but yeah, well, that's different because we grew up with like
everyone likes
different
X-Men,
comics and then stuff like that. Everybody had like a random X-Men comic maybe at some point. You just a free one or something like that. Like they always had random. X-Men was too popular to not have a toy or something. Like X-Men. So
Wolverine.
But yeah, like I stumbled upon this shit because I saw the rumors. I saw the rumors about King the Conqueror, and I was like, okay. And I was like, let me learn more about this comic. And then when I saw her name pop up, I was like, wait, huh? And then that led me down the rabbit hole. And now I'm like,
oh yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep for sure.
Yeah, this is it. This could be it right here. Now, don't get me wrong. Take all of that with a grain of salt, folks. Could be wrong. They might. Kevin Feige.
They're all good ideas. Yeah, Kevin Feige's the mastermind.
Have his own way of whatever they're doing. So could be. We could be way off the pace. King the Conqueror may not show up till Ant-Man, but it just seems like it makes sense. With Loki ending here and his timekeeper plan not working, he ends up being an issue for something going on in the quantum realm, where he tries to use the quantum realm now to time travel around freely.
Quantum realm definitely has different time shenanigans, which I think they're gonna delve into that way more in Ant-Man 3 as well. Yeah. This is only episode 2, so we don't know how this season is gonna end. But it could very well the stuff that happens here could very well lead to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We know that Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being where she exists. She's a constant in all these multiverses, which is crazy. Yeah, no matter what.
I think that's crazy. Is she the only
insane
Marvel being that's like that?
No, I think there's more. Right? There's more, but she's the most knowable. I believe.
Is she? Okay. Let me say this. Not Marvel. That sounded bad, but for the MCU currently, is she the only character that no matter what happens to the timeline, she exists always?
Yes.
Currently,
right now, episode 2 Loki, MCU. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. No matter
powerful.
Oh yeah, she's busted. No, she's one of the strongest. She's busted, man. So that's why this show had to come out after the other two. The other two starting could be interchangeable. This show, because I feel like if they gave us this, they could have gave us this first if the other two didn't work out because of pandemic stuff. But we would have been like Nexus. Like
I wouldn't have enjoyed WandaVision as much with seeing this, because what this would have done, I think they've done it well, man. As much as people give them flack for it, and I know Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come first, I definitely agree that it worked out well, because I get it. WandaVision didn't come in with all the fighting and the Marvel and all the Easter eggs, but there were Easter eggs. That's what I didn't understand, people. But for me, whatever.
It was such a different tone
for exactly the different tone, the different setup, the different approach to the show, and people came in, and after a year of no Marvel, it was hard to come into that and not get the typical Marvel you may be looking for, typical Marvel action you were looking for. But I still feel like for consistency across the shows that have come out. For pacing across the shows that have come out, WandaVision coming out first was best. It was the drama. It had all the emotion. It gave us a little bit of action towards the end. We got to see some magic and stuff like that. We got to learn some key details about Nexus and events and all that kind of stuff. We got to learn a lot of different things in that show. And then you go to Falcon Winter Soldier, which doubles back to the more traditional, there's more action. They're, superheroes going on missions. They're fighting against this guy, whatever. More typical superhero stuff. And now you have Loki, which I think has done a great job of balancing both. You have a lot of action happening, but he's also become very emotional at different times through learning about himself, essentially. You know what I mean? Like and how his decisions have affected things, how his own actions have played out in the future that he doesn't know yet, that this particular Loki hasn't experienced yet. Just different things, you know what I mean, that are going to affect how he might approach things. And if this Loki was to ever be able to go back into the regular timeline, he would probably never be the same. He's going to act different with his power. He may not necessarily be the god of mischief completely. You know what I mean? He may want to go and be a good Loki now. You know what I mean?
True anti-hero stuff.
Exactly. And you just never know because now this Loki has seen things. So, I think the way it came out was 100% the right way. You know, I know it wasn't the original way they were planning, but I think this was the best way it could have come out.
Yep.
This way. And even if you didn't like the first one, fine. You didn't like the first one. It didn't have enough action for you. No problem. Second one had more action. Here's even more action, plus time travel, plus magic, plus Nexus shit. Everything's happening.
All this world building. Holy crap.
What more did you ask for now? I think this is great. I think if this had came out first, the reviews for WandaVision would be even worse because, and I can speak for myself, I think this would have got me so hyped for action that going to something that is
slower paced,
hanging on the drama more and a little slower paced would make me be like, oh, just get me to the fights. Yeah, I especially those scenes like in between. There'd be some episodes where they weren't fighting. It was good information, but it wasn't fighting, and you'd be like, oh man, I know they want to fight. Get me to that. And it's just like, nah, wait till the next episode. Yeah, like this. I think this is the best way you could do it. I definitely believe this is the best way that you could come about this, man. I'm in awe of them, what they've done with 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Can't knock it. Cannot knock it. Can only hope DC can even, not DC, can only hope Warner Brothers can even get a fraction of what they're doing here, man. I don't know. Does Marvel have any other live action shows that involve time travel?
Let's see, not if Dev has anything to say about it.
Yeah, relax. You're right.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has time travel?
Yes,
it does.
It
does.
Okay. No, but you know, I wonder because for me, I just wonder how it works because I guess my hope is, and obviously the problem is Warner Brothers goes out their way to want to copy Marvel when they think it's convenient to them, and then say that they want to be nothing like Marvel when it's convenient to them.
Yeah, it's weird.
But if there's anything you can do, you know, like I've always said, DC Legends of Tomorrow I think it's a decent show. At least it starts out. The first 3 seasons, I think, are actually good. I'd say they're really good, actually. After that, it kind of gets a little convoluted. Or maybe that's up till season 4, maybe, where they go and they fight their own version of like the Timekeeper people. But it could be done better, if that makes sense. And I think Disney is showing us here, you can do time travel really good. And not only that, you don't have to use a movie to reset the whole universe, and you don't have to use your main person. It doesn't have to be Doctor Strange who goes back in time and resets all the time or makes multiverse.
Right.
He can affect it. He can be involved. Obviously, he's a big character in that type of shit. He should be involved, but it doesn't have to be them. They could have taken that same Legend of Tomorrow cast and done the same shit. They do that and use that show to make a multiverse that brings in the Arrowverse, that brings in all of the movies and the old movies and all that kind of stuff, and make it make more sense and make it this big event. But they don't want to do that. They just want to make Flash run backwards, and then time changes and fixes everything. So, you know, you determine what you think that is, lazy or what. I don't know. Just sounds to me like I could do a better job. But yeah, like it's that thing. I for them to get a time. Anything when you're manipulating time, bro, it can get tricky and testy.
Yeah, it's really hard.
You know, fans will overanalyze it and pick out plot holes. I think they've done a pretty decent job of not doing much of it, other than the one we pointed out where I feel like people aren't reacting when they show up. But there might be a reason for that. They might have a way to cover that at some point. At this point, I'm not knocking it. I don't know yet. You know, it's just something I observed so far. So it's hard to do this. It's hard to do time.
It is very hard. Yeah,
they're not easy. I think people need to take that.
I honestly always, anytime time travel is introduced into a show, I always like cringe, like, oh god damn it.
Here we go.
It can become a crutch. Yeah. It can become a crutch real easy.
For sure. Like,
and
hand wavy. That's fine. Poor writing.
Hey, don't worry about any of that. Time travel.
Right.
And you're just like, no. Because they did that in Umbrella Academy. Spoilers. For Umbrella Academy. They did that in Umbrella Academy. They did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
They had all this shit happen, and then it was like, well, he time jumped back here, so it doesn't matter anymore. And don't get me wrong, time travel obviously works different. Umbrella Academy did a decent job of explaining its time travel as well, and I think that's a good show. But I hate when they show you all these moments, and then it's just all completely erased because someone time traveled. Like, I don't know. I think
I will say a what was the Avengers show called again? Agents of Shield. I think they did a pretty good job of explaining their time travel.
Well.
I think they did. Fitz, he did a pretty good job of explaining how.
Yeah, like you know what? When it happened, I had to like blink and kind of rewatch part of it.
Yeah, I had to rewatch. Yeah,
but once I understood it, it did make sense because there were definitely multiple iterations of characters throughout that show.
Yeah. Two Fitzes existed at a point in time. It was kind of crazy.
It was wild. That show, man. That show.
Y'all gonna make me watch Agents of Shield, man.
No, like for real. I kept writing off for years.
It was crazy.
Season 4 is when the other seasons are good too, but season 4 is when it's like must-watch territory.
So I'm gonna watch season 3 and then 4. I'll start in season 3.
It's actually
you probably could get away with that.
Can get away with that.
Yeah,
you might not be as attached to certain relationships and.
I don't care about
might react like why is this guy such a big deal? I don't know why they're reacting this way. Just
you might.
I believe him. I just trust you. If they say he a big deal, he a big deal. I trust him.
Definitely a big brain character.
You say he the man. All right, cool.
Is
he dying or not, bro? Is he getting a dark hold?
Both.
Is he gonna see Avenger somewhere? Is he gonna see Spider? That's all I care about.
So that's one thing I'll say about the show. I think they had original plan for it, and then they kind of went off and started doing their own thing. Like the first 2 seasons make it really seem like it's part of the true canon of the MCU, and I thought that first too. But season 3, especially season 4 on, it became its own thing. Especially with Agent Coulson. Holy shit!
So he comes back.
There's too many things that happen in the show that
that's how he comes back alive.
If this shit's canon,
twice.
He does come back twice. Once from the stabby stab from Loki in the Avengers movie, and second time, man. Honestly, it's a good show, especially for listeners, watchers. Just watch it. It's on Netflix still. It's an ABC show. They are very long. It's definitely a long running series that went on for years.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those 8 seasons or some shit like that. Y'all says or 7?
6, but
6 seasons. Oh, okay, 6.
But still, okay. The first 4
episodes each season.
Yes. Season 5, season 6. Oh, go ahead.
21 episodes each season.
Oh, god damn.
Season 5 and 6 are 13 episodes though.
Yeah. It sounds like One Piece out here.
Yes.
God damn.
Yeah. On the low.
Kind of, yeah. So One Piece is like 5 times longer than that. But so I'm sorry, 10 times. But
100.
1,000. But yeah. Man, as far as that's probably the best time traveling type show thus far. The later rules out, it builds upon some of the rules from Endgame, and it's more coherent in my opinion.
With that, man.
Yeah, so far so good. It's gonna be wild. Yeah, so that's really all I got for the episode.
For sure, man. Same with me, man. It was really good. I don't know why something just clicked in my head. I wanted to see what's happening with this one other show. I don't think it's coming back again. Oh, man. Oh, they were never going to do that. I don't think, just while we're talking about superhero shows, the show Krypton just randomly kind of creeped back in my mind right now for some random reason. Don't know why. Just made me think of it. And I just wanted to see if there was any
plans of another season.
The 2 seasons are out, but there's been nothing since then. So I don't know. And the sad part is, a lot of these actors are going to get older and stuff. If you're going to keep them in that same time period, you're going to get harder and harder to have them play certain roles. But yeah, I enjoyed Krypton. So hopefully that show comes back, man. I just realized I hadn't heard anything from it, and so just randomly popped in my mind. I don't know. Let us know how y'all think about let us know if y'all seen Titans. Let us know what y'all think about Titans. If you like it, you hate it, you love it, whatever. If you're excited for season 3, if you're gonna give season 3 a chance, now it's on HBO Max instead of just DC Universe and just whatever, because maybe that means some more budget money and stuff like that. Or maybe if you hate it and you're gonna hate watch it, you can tell us if you're gonna be honest. It's a safe space.
Watch it.
It's a safe space. If you're gonna hate watch it, you hate the show, you think the first 2 seasons is ass, but you still gonna click it because it's DC content, like some of us do. Hey, let us know that too, man. Let us know about that. Let me know if you watch Krypton. I really enjoyed that show. It's not perfect either, but I thought it was really cool. So yeah, let me know if y'all enjoyed Krypton as well. Really like that show. And let us know how y'all liking Loki. I mean, I know how y'all feel. Y'all love it. You love it. You loving it. You're loving it. You ain't got no. Yeah. Come on. It's Loki. We just waxed lyrical about it for like 45 minutes. You love it. You love it. We love it. We all love it. It's Loki. It's amazing. So, but tell us your favorite parts. Tell us if you notice any little Easter eggs that we didn't talk about or we missed, or maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe I was wrong about King the Conqueror. I don't know. I'm just telling you the stuff that I
Hey
found
man,
as
speculation is fun.
Let us know your theories. What do you think is gonna happen, man? Loki is hot, man. It's hot. It's up. I'm enjoying this, man. This is exciting. This is an exciting time to be a comic book fan and be a comic book movie fan, be watching this stuff and TV shows coming out. This is we're in the thick of it. So this is pretty dope, man. Marvel is killing it as they've been doing all year, to be honest.
They can't keep winning.
Yeah, it's getting to a point where it's kind of ridiculous.
I know they can.
They're hitting gold on everything. And even when I kind of question them a little bit, they hit it again. So I mean, them niggas made me watch an Ant-Man movie. So
they made everybody watch that.
Once they did that, I knew I couldn't question these niggas again. Once I watched it and enjoyed
Ant-Man cool, like, bro.
The first Ant-Man, I was like, okay, that was all right, but I wasn't blown away. And I think I was also hating a little bit because I just didn't want to enjoy it. But the second one, I was like, this is fun.
Second one,
I was like, yo, these niggas, yo, what? Yeah, I'm with it, bro.
Second one's fire. I think a lot of people sleep on that movie, or at least they just haven't seen because is it required or whatever.
Yeah, it's required. It's just the first time we got to see post. Wasn't Ant-Man and the Wasp the first time we got to see anything post Endgame? Was that? That was after the blip, right?
After It
was after the snap.
No, it was after the snap. Well, the post-credit scene
just happened. Sorry, it was after Infinity. Was it after Infinity War? No, we got Infinity War and Endgame back to back, right?
I think this movie happened during Infinity War stuff.
Yeah, they were doing their thing, and Infinity War was happening, and then at the end of the movie, the snap happened.
Yeah, and the post-credit scene.
Yeah, and the post-credit scene.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man was Ant-Man was stuck in the quantum realm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. 100%. Yes, you're right. That's right. See, guys, this is why it's two ugly nerds, but it's three of us.
Yeah. This is why. Best tagline ever.
This is why. Come on.
Yep.
Come on. All right, man. It's Father's Day. Y'all make sure we should have said this at the beginning of the episode. I don't know why I didn't say it at the beginning of the episode. But we're here. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to Ian. Y'all make sure y'all go to Happy Father's Day to Ian, all the fathers.
Happy Father's Day.
Do pet fathers count too? Ian?
I think so.
Now that you're a real
father.
Some say that.
Ian, you're a real father, so you get to have an opinion now. Do pet fathers count? Do we count?
Pet fathers count. I think
sure.
When you're raising a puppy, it's a lot of the same stuff. Personally, it really is. It's a lot of the same stuff. Sleepless nights, all the rest of it. So yeah, you a dad too, bro.
You ever woke up to your puppy just shitting all over your bedroom floor in the middle of the night? That ever happened to you?
Bro, let me tell you what happened this morning.
Go ahead.
This morning.
Woke up this Father's Day. I'm changing a Cairo diaper. In the middle of changing his diaper, this man projectile pooped right in my hand. All over my clothes, man. I had a pink shirt on before I got to this episode.
I love you, Dad.
And this man, he straight smiled while he did it, man. In my face, bro. In my face. Happy Father's Day, nigga.
Clean that shit up.
I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it, man.
You'll never forget.
Hey, I gotta clip this and post this today, dog.
Oh my god.
Oh man, y'all tripping. Oh man.
Nothing is realer than that.
So if you had any baby fever,
boy.
Go ahead and cancel that.
Go ahead and maybe take a rain check on
that in the bud right now.
Don't rush it.
On Father's Day, he did this. He was waiting for it. He saved his poop all night. I said, I can't wait till this nigga tries my shit today.
Oh, he opened it up? Bet. Just laid it all out.
I was crying the whole time, and then he stops. I'm like, okay, cool. We about to be smooth.
That's probably what. That's probably what it was. Be smooth
after you clean him up.
The audacity.
That's why he stopped.
That's why he hit you in the face.
Oh yeah.
No, it didn't hit me in my face.
Yo, honestly, I think if it had hit Ian in the face, he would be like, "Hey guys, I can't make the pod."
I had an emergency.
I cannot even do this. I'm taking shit in my face, dog. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not coming to talk about Loki with y'all and this nigga shit in my face, dog. My son just shit in my face. I think we have to have a talk about boundaries now. I think we have to set the hierarchy in this household.
Man, our first father.
This nigga playing with me.
First father-son talk.
That is crazy, dog.
That was not okay, man.
What's up, bro? We got some beef we gotta discuss. Like, bro, let's go to therapy or something, dog. Oh man, Cairo, man, he coming in with the
coming in hot.
Coming in hot, boy, hot. Oh man,
sorry,
that's crazy, man.
That's pretty wild. It's funny.
Hey man, I hope y'all get a good laugh out of that here at the end of this episode, man.
I hope so. I really hope
that
y'all
is great,
do.
man. Man, like again, man, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, pet fathers, whatever your father. Happy Father's Day to you. Hope you enjoy your day. You get to celebrate your day. You get to be celebrated. You get to be shown love. But yeah, man, good podcast, good episode. Join in watching Loki with us again. If you're not, catch up. Hurry up. We're doing this every week. Every week we're gonna figure out how to tell you about the last episode of Loki, man, because this is worth it. This is worth paying attention to. This is worth listening to whatever people are talking about. You want to know all the information this is, though, man. So yeah, man, y'all check it out, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe, comment,
and like the video.
Please like the video. Yeah, please like the video, but comment. Like, share, comment, subscribe, man. But most importantly, enjoy. Been 2 ugly nerds, but there's 3 of us. Peace. He ain't even look up for y'all. Y'all cool.
Peace.
Now we got it. Now it's official.
Now we're done for real.